Good evening, my name's Andrew Waddington. This is my first video of my sailing adventures. I'm in Turkey, well, mainly a town called Fethiye. Never been to Turkey before, but I'm told this is a tourist hotspot. I've been here since Tuesday and I love it. It's a fantastic country. I set off sailing from Fleetwood on June the 3rd. On my own, got as far as Fishguard, and I picked up a crew member, Norman Ingham from the yacht club. And me and Norman sailed across the English Channel and down the French coast all the way to Lisbon, and Norman decided he'd had enough and then flew home from there. So I've been solo sailing since Lisbon, Portugal, through the Straits of Gibraltar, through the Med. Stopped at various ports along the way, called at Spain, Sardinia, Sicily, and cleared customs in Bodrum on September the 3rd. Well, a bit about myself with sailing. I've not been sailing long in terms of other sailors who sail for years since they were kids, but I only started when I was 2016. I had a life-changing operation. Nothing, well, it was major, but it was a bit of a life-changing experience. I thought, life's too short, just go for it. One of my mates, mainly Robbo, turned around to me and said, "You've done all you can with your job and your business, just sell up and go sailing." And I said, what I did. So I went and joined Blackpool and Fleetwood Yacht Club. Got chatting to Andy Ernst, the dinghy instructor. He said, if you want to sail in the blue seas, you're going to have to learn how to sail a dinghy first. And that's what I did. And I took his advice, and I'm glad I did, because I've hit some horrendous storms on the way getting here. And if it hadn't for my experience in a lazy dinghy, which I've still got, I've been in big trouble. And also credit to Johnny Clark, who he taught me to sail a yacht from the club. So I sailed, once I'd sold my businesses, I bought Gypsy, who, this is where we are. I'm on board Gypsy now. She's a Vancouver 34. Blue water cruiser. She will sail anywhere. Long keel, 9.5 ton, safe as houses, and just laughs at storms. And I sailed in Scotland last year for 3 months around the Firth of Clyde. She's getting used to us, she behaves. And then sailed her home to Fleetwood, hauled her out of the water, and started to upgrade her for the long distance stuff, which I'll show you in a bit. And put her back in the water in May this year. And then, as I said, sail from June 3rd onwards. So what I think I'll do is I'll show you around the interior of the boat first. I'll have to do tomorrow, I'll show the exterior of the boat. Oh, one other thing. Why am I doing this so late in the day? Some people ask. Well, I didn't think anybody would be interested, really. And then I've been putting pictures on the club's WhatsApp group. And some of the guys and girls there said, why do you do a sailing blog? I thought, well, no, who's be interested in me? There's loads of videos out there, single guys sailing around the world. And I thought, no, we'd like to hear it. So I thought, well, yeah, but then I'll need a GoPro camera, I'd need a laptop, and I'd need Adobe Premiere Video, whatever it is. And they said, no, you only need, the iPhone. It'll do everything. So I thought, well, why not? I'll give it a go. So, back to showing you about what's on the boat. Now, I'm not very good at this, so you're going to have to excuse me. So I'll just try and show you around the boat. Okay, so starting from the front, we'll switch the lights on, didn't I? Hang on a minute, where are we? There we go. Okay, so starting at the front, right, that black hole down there is the anchor locker. There's the hatch just below. Now the anchor locker, as you can see, you can just see the chain dropping down, but the anchors, we're anchored up in Fethiye Bay at the moment. Now the reason the hatch is off is when I raise the anchor, the chain comes in and it gets jammed, so I have to keep pushing it flat to stop it jamming at the top. There's my shelf with my fishing rods and bike pump and various bits and pieces for fishing. Here is my road bike. Some of you know me, know I like my cycling. I do a lot of touring about as soon as I get anchored up. So I just spare duvet there. This is my wardrobe. Vanity mirror, and that's me. I have another bike as well. I've got a folding bike, a Brompton, which I bought in Gibraltar. That's just out on deck. Well, I'll do that tomorrow. So this is what's called, for some of the non-sailing types, this actually is a double bed. It's called a V-berth. So you can sleep 2 people in there, but obviously I'm on my own, so I can just use it for storing all my junk. Right, so back into the main part of the boat. There's the dining area, the dining table. That's my Hoover. That's my booze cupboard. There's my radio stereo. I don't use that too much now because I've got a smart speaker, and this is where I sleep, along here. It's really comfortable. I know some of you will say, oh, that's not much good, but yeah, it's great. That is my bug killer. That's for my scones when I cook my scones, but you can't get any raspberries or blueberries out here. It's crazy. Moving along. That's my chart plotter. It's my backup telling me where to go. These are my anchor lights. I'll be putting that out. That actually clips to my jib sheet outside. I'm going to do that in a minute, but it's pitch black outside, as you can just see from the lights in the bay. Now there's my laptop. I've got my battery monitor at the moment. Now the battery monitor is really important on a boat, because if you run out of power, you know, life can be a bit unpleasant. So here's my battery monitor. Some of you who've been watching me on Facebook know I've fitted some lithium batteries, and I fitted what's called a smart shunt, which is this here, and it tells you your battery strength, or how much your capacity. I've got 82% at the moment. I'm using a bit of power at the moment because I've got all the lights blazing and then my water heater's on, so that's why I'm using about 13 amps at the moment. This is the bottom one here. That's my solar controller, but obviously it's 0 amps coming in at the moment, and it's off because there's no sun, because it's night time. But during the day that powers up. But some of you might be asking, non-sailors among you, how do I know where I'm going? Well, I use the chart plotter, which there's a big map appears when I take that cover off that screen, but all you sailors among you will know, and we all use it, Navionics. And this will tell you where to go. So if I just hit where we are, that's with the red triangle's where we are now. So I want to go to, say, just expand the map up a bit, to Finucane, which is where I'm going to go in my next journey. So I'll just put on that and then just wait a bit, and there we go. It's that, hit the go button, and I just follow the line. It's that simple. So it's like sat nav on a car. Absolutely amazing. Right, that's my anchor light just charging up. There's my Garmin GPS. If I keep that in my pocket. If I fall aboard, I can hit the SOS button and people will know where to find me. I forget what you call it, but that's my smart speaker. That's great. I listen to Radio 2 all day, and I just carry that around on the boat and put it on deck and everything. Here we are at the control panel. Again, all you sailors will know exactly what all this is, but non-sailors, that's the boat's VHF radio. That's the old battery monitor, which I don't use anymore. That's for lead acid batteries. That's my top bit there. That is my bilge pump. That's my night heater, my cabin heater, when I don't need it out here because it's that warm. And that's my water level gauge. See, I've got quite a bit of water in there. That's my gas alarm pilot there. That's my bank of switches. At the moment the anchor light's on, as you can see, because it's dark outside. There's my AIS button. AIS is Automatic Identification System. That tells all the authorities where I am and recognise me, especially when I'm going past military areas and they don't bother me so much. Now here's the interesting bit, the pilot berth. Now, this is a tunnel, goes all the way down to the bottom. Now this is where I sleep when it gets stormy and I'm underway. So this is where, when I was coming across the Med, doing about a 4-day sail, I was sleeping here on autopilot, because as you see either side, you just roll about. You've not got very far to go. And these are some of the electrics that I've fitted. Now that's my water heater. That works off 12 volt off the batteries, and there's an element in the water tank which is under here, and that heats the water, but it only heats it to 40 degrees, and when the batteries get below 12 volts, automatically cuts itself off. There's my solar controller. That will cut off when the batteries get too full. And this is my wind turbine, which I've got outside. At the moment, obviously, it's glowing red because there's no wind, but it'll start to glow green when the wind picks up. It's very quiet as the wind at the moment around here. Fetty is very, very sheltered, which is good. Next, oh yeah, interesting. Let me just get my head torch out. I can show you what we've got under here. Some of you may know that is a water maker. That's a Rainman, which Rainman water makers are portable. You can carry them around, but it's that heavy. You know, I thought, no, I'm going to strip it down, and I made that wooden trestle there. I made that, and I fitted it to the boat. This is actually what's called a wet locker, and if you can see in there, that tube there is what's called the membrane, and that's what the seawater pushes through that membrane, or rather that pump, an electric motor, pushes seawater through the membrane in that white tube and makes fresh water, and that's the pre-filter there. So that's where the water maker lives, and I've actually got my wet gear tucked away in the corner as well. There's my kettle. I should pack that away now because I'm not in the marina anymore. Just finished that bottle of scotch. It's the one Norman bought me. And here we are in the galley, in the kitchen. There's my gas cooker, my Neptune cooker. Really good little cooker, that. And all my spices and stuff for making all grub. I like my cooking. And my plates, and there's my sink. Still got washing up water in there at the moment. Okay, so there we have the interior of Gypsy, and in the morning I'll take you outside and I'll show you what's happening all about up there.